Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having an absolute wonderful holiday season thus far. I know the holidays can be kind of stressful for everybody, with buying gifts and I live in Chicago, so not only are we buying gifts, but we have the snow, and then everybody goes through the lines and the busyness of going to the store. Like, it's crazy during the holidays. So even though it gets crazy, I welcome it. I embrace it. It's my favorite time of the year. So I hope everybody is enjoying their time thus far as well. So for this nail design today, I'm going to show you the full prep process. This was an actual design that I was going to wear afterwards. So not this design itself, because I do shorten them and then do a short glitter design. That is what I wore afterwards, and I'll show you guys that design as well in another video. But the reason I show you my full prep process is because the short glitter design that I do after this was my birthday nail set. Yes, I am a December baby, so that's why I didn't post too much for this month, because I was taking some time off just to enjoy that time for myself. I've been pretty consistent posting all year round, so I felt like I needed a little break. And what better time than on my birthday? So I do not apply Macart Peel It Off base coat for this set. This is exactly how I would do a acrylic set that I want to last. I also want to mention that I do have another video up as well in regards to prepping the natural nail plate and acrylic application for your non-dominant hand. I am right-handed, so I did a whole video on how I like to prep my natural nail plate and apply my acrylic using my left hand, and I share a ton of great tips on that video. I tell you guys, what I like to look for when I'm cutting that dead skin around my cuticle, how I like to hold my e-file, that way I have more control over it, how I like to hold my hands, all types of great things. So I will put a link to that in the top right corner of this video. I will also put a link to that in the description down below if you guys are interested in checking that out. After you've completely prepped your nails, they should look chalky like this. There should be no shine on them, and that's how you know they're ready to go. One important thing that I do want to mention, and I don't show it in this video, is that once they're chalky, I do go and put 2 coats of the Young Nails protein bond, and it works as a double-sided sticky tape, so that way whatever enhancement you're going to put on helps it last longer. So this is going to help with your retention. The acrylic that I'm using right now is by Valentino. This is the Platinum Silk. I have been leaning towards this color a lot because I feel like it just goes so well with my skin tone. It's the perfect amount of pink and nude, versus the other pink shade that I normally use is Prettiest Pink, and that one's pink. So I love it if I'm gonna do like a super girly set, but I don't know, I just love Platinum Silk, and I think that's one of their top 5 shades, so it's gorgeous. Anyways, I'm using Valentino, and then I'm using my Pana acrylic brush in size 16. I have been using this brush for a good year now, and it's fantastic. I love it. Great brush that you could get off of Amazon. I also want to take this time to mention that I do have a video up as well explaining how I like to do my French lines. And I know that French lines are so popular. Everybody does some type of French nail design for the holidays, whether it be as like the foundation of the design, or literally you just do a classic French nail design where all 5 nails are just French tips. That's literally in almost every single set, even if it's just one nail. So I do have a video up, and I'll put a link to that one as well in the top right corner and in the description down below. That way you guys could check it out. In that video, I talk a lot about the foundation of, you know, how to do a French tip, meaning your brushes, what you should look for in your liner brushes, what products you should be using, what works better, and what maybe you want to stay away from. I also talk about how you should be picking up your products, because believe it or not, that does matter, which was crazy to me when I was first doing nails. But yes, picking up, or how you pick up your product, whether it be gel polish or liner gel or whatever you're using, it does matter when it comes to getting a nice clean French line. So definitely check that out if you haven't done your Christmas nail design yet, or if you are struggling with your French lines and you want some tips and tricks. It's a really good video that covers a lot, so you'll definitely want to take some notes because I go over as much as possible in that video. Next, it was time to file and shape my nails, so I am going in with my Purple Carbide bit by Melody Susie. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I do have my acrylic set already done on my right hand. And to all of you nail techs out there who do like nails with these crazy long nails on yourselves, you guys are so talented, because this was such a weird feeling. Everything from holding the acrylic brush to holding my e-file was just so weird, and it felt so unnatural because I wasn't used to it. And I just kept thinking, like, how in the world do the nail techs do this? Because I've been doing nails for a long time, but doing nails with your own nails on is a whole nother ballgame. Like, it's just so weird. So it takes time to get used to it. And I know that the more you do it, obviously, like I said, you'll get used to it, but I'm not used to it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I was like just a little bit uncomfortable holding the e-file, and we just had to get it done. We had to get it done, you know? So the first thing I always do is a file underneath my sidewalls, and then I like to go in and start removing some of the bulk around my cuticle and sealing that cuticle in. The next thing I did was take my hand file and start to sharpen up some of those sidewalls and my free edge. Now, I will admit, normally I try to do as much work as possible with my e-file, but it was just, like I said, so weird and uncomfortable for me at the moment that I did most of the work with my hand file. The downside of using the hand file too much, like to debulk and shape the nails, is that you can kind of become sore around your sidewalls, and like just your finger in general can become sore, the one that you're working on. And this is something that I realized more as I was starting out, because I was so scared to use the e-file because I didn't want to cut myself. And so I would do so much work with my hand file that by the time I was done trying to remove all of that acrylic from my hand or from my fingernail, they were so sore the next day. And that kind of just opened my eyes to how important it is to use the e-file. So if you're doing your nails and you kind of notice that your fingernails are sore, that's probably why. You're probably trying to do too much work with your hand file. So I recommend getting a lot more comfortable with your e-file to eliminate that problem. After my shaping and filing, this is what my nails were looking like, and then I started the nail art. To kick things off, I went in with Spring Sigh by Apre, If you've seen my videos, you know that I love the nude colors from Apres. I love the consistency. They are such natural, beautiful colors, and they are kind of sheer. But the cool thing about them is that you can build them up. So after like 2 coats, you're like, oh yeah, that looks nice, you know? So I did only 1 coat of the Apres by Springside. Guys, my bad. It's super early right now. It's like 5:30 in the morning and my brain is just waking up. So I did 1 coat of Springside by Apres, not the other way around. And then I went in with some white gel polish. Now, for this design has been trending all over TikTok. Like more so at the beginning of the holidays, it came out. I haven't really seen it. I've seen it on Pinterest and Instagram too, but just more so on my TikTok feed. And it's just so gorgeous. It's simple, but it stands out. So I really love that. Now, normally I would go in with my D&D white gel polish, but I have no idea what has been wrong with that gel polish lately. It keeps on like spreading like water every time I put it down, and it is so incredibly annoying, and that's never happened to me before. So right now the white polish that I'm using is by Not Polish. However, after I made this video, my Nails by Dev liner gel came in. I got Baddest Black and Baddest White, and I will never go back to using white gel polish to make my lines ever again. I have been on the hunt to find something similar to the Young Nails Mission Control gel paint because the consistency is just elite. And not Young Nails, the Nails by Dev liner gels are amazing. They are perfect if you want to get nice, clean lines and lines that don't move and spurse out like the gel polishes tend to do. Amazing gel products that she has. So I will definitely be trying to invest in more of her liner gels because I was very impressed with the consistency of it. to do the mistletoe design that I'm going to be doing in a second, I do use the Young Nails Mission Control gel paint, and the only reason I don't use the white Mission Control gel paint is because when I first got the kit like years ago, I ran through the white and the black like it was water, like the air we breathe. I kid you not, it was done in like not even a month. It was done so fast, and that's because I was treating it like gel polish. I was shading in big areas with it. I was just doing the most. So those two shades are absolutely gone, but I still have, to this day, years later, all of the other shades. So I take the green by Young Nails, and that's what I use for the mistletoe. Now, when you're doing your mistletoe, there's a couple of ways you can do it, but I like to do it this way, where you're sort of dragging little spikes down. It looks more like a pine tree, or, I mean, honestly, it looks a little bit like a palm tree, you know, but to me, it just looks more mistletoe-y. So I just like the look that this gives a lot better. And then after I put the green, what I do is I go in with a tiny little bit of white, and I only put it in the center just to give it a little bit of dimension and make it stand out a little bit more. And if you feel the need to go back and fix some of the areas with a little extra green or a little extra white, by all means do so. The other thing that I like to do for the mistletoe is, if I have two parts of the mistletoe going down, then on the next nail, I'll kind of have them going sideways. And then on the third nail, I kind of have them going up. That way each mistletoe looks a little bit different. this was the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I absolutely love how they came out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.